Good morning, students. We are learning from the last lecture the measurable properties of gases. Now, the three properties, that is mass, volume, and pressure. These three measurable properties we already learned, and we also learned their units, how the mass of gas, volume of gas, and that is the pressure of gas are measured. That also we learned, and which are their different units of mass of the gas, that is kilogram, gram, and that is the volume of the gas, decimeter cube, liter, and meter cube. These are the units of the volume to measure the gas. And also we learn about the pressure, atmospheric pressure, and that is the internal pressure of the gas, how they measure and in which unit, that is the Pascal, atmosphere, Newton per meter square means Pascal, and these are the different units we already learned. Now let us study today the three different measurable properties of gases. Now first property, that is about the temperature. Now as every substance have that is temperature at the given condition, so gases also have the temperature, and we can measure the temperature of gas also. Now what is the basic definition of this temperature? Now temperature is the property of an object, any object, it may be gas, solid, liquid object. So temperature is the property of the object that determines, that fixes or determines the direction in which energy will flow. Now we know that the energy will always flow from higher temperature to lower temperature. That is the migration of the electrons in that object, always from higher temperature to lower temperature. If we heat that is the metal rod, suppose iron rod, from one side we feels the heat to the other side also. That means the energy flow from higher temperature to lower temperature, that is temperature flow. So temperature is the property of an object that determines the direction in which energy will flow when that object is in contact with other object. Now I give you this example of the iron rod. But suppose I give the temperature or heat to a iron block. There are the two different iron blocks. Suppose I give the heat to the one iron block, and the another iron block I kept in contact with that heated hot iron block after heating that first block. Then what will be after some time? We observe or we feels the another iron block also get that is the hot, or its temperature increases. So always the energy flow from higher temperature to lower temperature, and when that object is in contact with the other object, the energy flow into that direction. So the temperature is the property of the object that determines the direction in which energy flow when that object is in contact with other object. This is the basic definition of the temperature. Now temperature is measured in Celsius and in Kelvin scale. We know that degree Celsius or in Kelvin scale. In Fahrenheit also temperature can be measured. Now the SI unit of temperature is Kelvin, and the relation of degree centigrade and Kelvin is Kelvin temperature is equal to degree centigrade temperature plus 273.15. Now this is the relation between the degree centigrade temperature and Kelvin temperature. Now let us see the fifth, that is the measurable property of the gases. We know that solid and liquids have the density. They are denser, but gas also have the density. But in case of gases, there is always the relative density is measured. That is called as the vapor density. But the basic definition of the density is what? Density is the mass per unit volume. What is density? Density density D is equal to mass per unit volume. So the SI unit of density is kilogram per meter cube. Now mass in kilogram and volume in meter cube. So the SI unit of density is kilogram per meter cube. In case of gases, relative density is measured with respect to hydrogen gas. So, and this relative density is called as the vapor density. Now, how the vapor density is calculated? Vapor density of any gas is calculated as vapor density is equal to molar mass of that given gas divided by 2. 2 is the molar mass of the hydrogen gas. So, in this way, density of any vapor density of any gas will be calculated as vapor density is equal to molar mass divided by molar mass of hydrogen, that is the 2. Now, next, that is the special property only for gases is that of the diffusion. Now, what is diffusion? Only gas have this property because the spontaneous mixing of two or more gases irrespective of their densities is called as the diffusion. I give you the example of the that is having the very sweet smell stick, or it is also called as the flavored stick. If we lighten at the one corner of the room, we feel the fragrance to the another corner of the room, and this is possible due to the phenomena of diffusion. So the spontaneous mixing of two or more gases irrespective of densities means if we put a cylinder of that is the light gas to upper side and heavy gas to the lower side, and if we mix that two gases after removing the lid, what happened? Though the lower gas have higher density and the upper gas have lower density, still the upper gas comes to lower side and lower gas comes to upper side. This can be seen if we take the bromine gas and chlorine gas. Bromine gas have that is the orange the color, and chlorine have the pale greenish color. And if we mix these two gases, after some time the orange gas, that is the denser gas bromine, goes to the upper side, and the less denser gas chlorine goes to the lower side cylinder of the gas cylinder. And this means that irrespective means not depend on density, they can spontaneously mix with each other. Air is the best example of the diffusion because in air so many gases are there, they mix and we feel a homogeneous mixture of all these different gases, and we call that as the air. So the spontaneous mixing of two or more gases irrespective of their densities is called as the diffusion. Now in case of gases, rate of diffusion of two or more gases is measured. And how the rate is measured? Rate of diffusion is equal to volume of the given gas which is diffused divided by time required for diffusion. How the rate is measured? Volume of the given gas divided by time required for diffusion. This is the rate of diffusion, volume divided by time. So the volume of the given gas divided by time required for diffusion is called as the rate of diffusion. So the SI unit of rate of diffusion is decimeter cube per second because volume is measured in decimeter cube and time in second. So the SI unit of the diffusion rate of diffusion is decimeter per second, or it may be centimeter cube per second also. Decimeter cube per second or decimeter cube per second. Now these are the 6 measurable properties of the gases. Now let us study the different laws, that is the gas laws. Now pay attention here students. We already learned the measurable properties of gases. Now let us learn the gas laws. Now there are the different gas laws from which we can measure these measurable properties or variables, that is the pressure, volume, temperature and number of moles. So the behavior of gases can be studied by 4 different variables such as pressure P, volume V, temperature T and number of moles N, small n. These variables are related to each other through different gas laws. Now there are the gas laws like Boyle's law, Charles law, pressure temperature law. Now the names Boyle's law and Charles from the names of the scientists who discovered that laws. Now let us first study the Boyle's law. Boyle's law gives us the relationship between the pressure and volume of the given gas. So the relationship between pressure and volume of the given gas is called as the Boyle's law. Now this is very important topic, always asked into the examination. So very IMP topic, that is the Boyle's law, and always it may be asked into the interviews also. What is Boyle's law? What is Charles law? So they are very important. Now what is the statement of this Boyle's law? Very simple statement. For a fixed mass, that is the number of moles of gas at the given temperature, at a constant temperature, the pressure of the gas is inversely proportional to the volume of the gas. Now you know that there is very large effect of pressure on the volume of the gas. I told you that if we take a given gas in a cylinder and if we apply a pressure with the piston, weightless and frictionless piston on that gas which are placed into the cylinder, what happens? The piston goes to, that is the inner side of the cylinder, and finally very less volume of that piston comes here, but it does not touches the bottom of the cylinder. That means there is the gas molecules are present. And the volume, suppose the cylinder is of 5 liters, the volume becomes very small. Suppose it may becomes 0.5 liter also. So there is very large effect of pressure on the volume of the gas, and so the relationship of pressure and volume of the given fixed mass of the gas at constant temperature is given by the Boyle's law. That is the statement of the Boyle's law. Why the temperature must be constant? Because we know that there is very large effect of temperature also on the volume of the gas. So during measurement of the volume, the temperature must be constant of the gases. So what is the statement? For a fixed mass, that is the number of moles, fixed number of moles of the gas at constant temperature, the pressure P of a gas is inversely proportional to the volume of the gas. Inversely proportional. The relationship is inverse. Now see here the another statement of the Boyle's law. At the constant temperature, the pressure P of a fixed amount of the gas, that is the number of moles, varies inversely with the volume of that gas V. Now mathematically how the this statement is given? Now pressure is inversely proportional to volume at constant temperature and number of moles or fixed gas. So if this sign we have to, that is eliminate, then pressure P is equal to K1 into 1 divided by V. Now this K1, that is the constant, and it is called as the proportionality constant. As this is the first law, so we give the that is constant as K1. Now in this way we know that therefore P into V, suppose this V comes to the left hand side, it becomes multiplied, is equal to K1. Now this is also the mathematical relationship. PV is equal to constant. Now this is also the mathematical relationship of the Boyle's law. PV is equal to constant. That is the multiplication of pressure and volume of the given fixed mass of the gas at constant temperature is always constant. Now thus when a fixed amount of the gas at constant temperature T occupying volume V1 and pressure P1, initially it undergoes expansion. Initially suppose the pressure of the gas is P1, volume is V1, and after some time it goes compression or expansion, then the final volume of the gas changes to V2 and pressure P2. And then therefore what is the generalized, that is the expression for the Boyle's law then according to Boyle's law, because we know that the P1 is equal to K1 divided by V1 and P2 is equal to K1 divided by K1 into 1 divided by V2. So the generalize this expression becomes P1 is equal to P2 is equal to constant. Now see here, suppose the first expression of the initial volume and pressure is in this way. This is the first and this is the final. After this is the initial and this is the final expression after the compression or expansion of the gas. P1 is equal to K1, P2 is equal to K2. At the right hand sides are equal, so therefore the left hand sides must be equal. Now this is the generalized statement. We can extend this as P1 is equal to P2 is equal to P3 if there are the three different cases is equal to constant. And there are the problems on this expression of the Boyle's law. Now again we have to see the graphical representation of the Boyle's law, and this is about the Boyle's law. If you like, share this video and tell the another to subscribe this.